Today's episode of the Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome to episode 165 of the Mom Game. I am an extremely beaten down Emily Jones. She is perky as always, Julie Dobbs. We are not together yet again. Hopefully that will end soon because I, quite frankly, Julie, am about to lose my mind with technology. Welcome to the show, honey.
I can tell.
I mean, I'm like, I just want to give up. I want to give up, not just on technology, on life in general. I just kind of want to be like, you know what? For 2 days, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm not going to return phone calls, text messages, take my kids anywhere. I just going to stay in my pajamas and do nothing and just do nothing and eat some crap and drink some wine. And
yeah,
I don't know.
Like just, every day in our 20s.
Just give up.
Yeah, like life before kids and kids and jobs.
I wish, please.
Oh, have you ever done that?
Yeah. No, I've worked at like literally a full-time job since my freshman year of college.
In college even? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I worked 3 jobs in college. I was a secretary. I was a waitress at Don Pablo's Mexican food restaurant. What was my third? Oh, I was a nanny.
Oh, wow.
For a family. So, yeah. Anyway, but I think this might be it. I think May of 2023 might be the time where I just give up for a couple of days.
I'm so honored.
Lock myself in a room.
I'm honored to be a part of it. Yeah, I know.
To be a part of it.
I'm honored to be part of what finally caused you to have a mental breakdown, meltdown. I'm honored that I was on the other side of the call. I know, because I mean, we're all all borderline there. It's usually just going to be one thing. Usually you can kind of,
right. Well, usually you can kind of have a moment to recover, right? So we've been pull the curtain back with technical issues we've been trying to start the show for an hour. And, you know, our friend Spencer has hooked us up with all this great equipment. For some reason, my computer's backfiring. And so, you know, when you plan your life in basically hour increments and you have no breaks in between, when one thing gets thrown off, it throws everything off. And May is stupid. And I think probably a lot of moms and people in general are feeling this way right now. It's a busy time of year, especially if you have kids. And I think probably there's just part of you at some point that wants to just be like, F it all. Like, I'm not returning texts. I'm not signing up for anything. I'm not saying yes. I'm just going to crawl in a hole. And I'll come out of it. But,
you'll be okay.
I feel like it's just,
you'll be okay.
Oh, I know I'll be okay. I'm not worried about being okay. It's just shooting. I'm being very honest. I'm being very real. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of times people will have breakdowns and then they get in front of somewhere and then they're like, oh, look at me. Everything's perfect and I'm great and it's wonderful. How are you? So good. Which is why I did my gateway read the way that I did, because I wanted to be super peppy and then be real. So
cool.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on. Julie, how are you?
I'm doing great, I guess. I'm very tired, you know, the usual. But
yeah,
I like this little escape that we have to talk about it and to vent and to realize that we're all kind of going through the same and most people that listen seem like they like that too. So I think it's okay to talk about it all. But I do like it. So I don't know. There's a lot of us dealing with stuff. But yeah, we talked a little bit earlier. It didn't record, but we talked about May and how insane May is. And it seems like it's just, I don't know if like the teachers and the PTA moms and everybody feel like they like have to make a quota of events and then they realize school's running out of time. And so they throw them all into May. But it's like, 5 to 10 things a week. And then you throw in sports and everything else. And, Anna has a birthday and we've got all this. I think we just feel especially like scattered because we're homeless and then we're changing platforms. I think the platform thing has been taken care of. So hopefully anybody that had disruptions when they were trying to listen to the podcast isn't having those disruptions anymore. We have a lot of people have been like working hard to try and get everything on track there. And I've been having talks with the iHeart team and they're going to help us boost this thing to the moon, Emily. So, there's going to be some growing pains.
To the moon.
To the moon.
Yeah, there are. And I think when you talk about May and this time of year, and I feel like everyone's trying to do the great, like the greatest things for our kids, right? Including us. Like I'm a dumbass and I'm letting Hattie play 3 sports right now. Like never again. That's fucking dumb. I don't know why I let her talk me into it. But it's dumb. So that's bad move, Mom. Bad move.
It's so easy to do though.
But I do feel like but I feel like everyone's trying to do special things and I appreciate that. And I love that. It's just totally overwhelming. Like it's just very overwhelming. And we talked about this before. All I'm trying to do is just fucking keep up. Like I'm not organizing anything. I'm not planning anything. There are other moms doing all that. I'm super grateful for them, but I'm like, for fuck's sake, I can't even keep up. I can't keep up with the text strings. I can't keep up with the teacher appreciation. And then there's teacher appreciation week, but then we need to get an end of school gift. And then every class has to have a party. And then I'm just like, I want someone to start a service and just be like, I will take care of all of this stuff. I'll take care of it. And you can charge me a laziness fee. Your $100 laziness fee in. Because if I could take some of that stuff, or maybe I need to hire someone to keep track of my life. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, oh my God, like May is drunk. May is intoxicated. May is hammered. May does not know what it did to itself. But it's like, holy shnikes.
It's a lot.
So anyway, but to all that to say, I'm the one who signed up to work 4 jobs. I'm currently working 4 jobs. 4. Okay. My fault. So I need to take some ownership of this and some responsibility. And so that's it. Part of this is directed at me. Like you overcommit yourself. You say yes to things you shouldn't say yes to. And so I need to have some self-reflection in that regard as far as making wise decisions about what I say yes and what I say no to.
I've been that way forever.
Which we've talked about before. I was getting good about it, and then
I have 3. So I mean, I don't have the 4th, but I have 3. When the morning show happened, it was like not even on the radar, and then I was like, oh, I'll make it work, and it's just totally drained me. It's totally drained my life force, and it's it's just kind of stressful there right now, but it's good. And then we've got both of us work in an industry where it includes nights and it includes weekends and it includes craziness and there's no real consistency in our schedule. And the kids, you have to miss a lot of things for the kids. So then your heart starts hurting and you're still trying to keep it all on track. And I got a text this morning that was like a video of Anna at chapel getting her birthday blessing. And it was like, oh, look how cute, Anna. And I was like, oh, I had no idea Anna was getting her birthday blessing at chapel. Like, that's so sad. And you could see her kind of looking in the crowd for me. And I was like, oh, and Kelly's in another, basically up in another country right now and all that. It's like, but I feel like you and I are just like so many people. So we're all just doing our best, and everybody can't be the PTA mom, right? Everybody can't be the one that's doing everything.
No,
we bring other things to the table.
Yeah,
we can provide some awesome auction items.
Yes. Well, we all have our strong suits. Like, even if I had all the time in the world, that's not me. Like, our school, these moms, y'all, they made this it's called Artapalooza. Our entire effing school, every hallway was decorated
Yeah.
like with this fly away theme. And I was like, holy shit, who even thinks of this? It's ridiculous. Like, it's awesome. But even if I had all the time in the world, I don't think I have the capability or the patience to do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know. It's just weird how we're all different, but that's a good thing. But
I know.
I just don't think that's in my
No.
DNA. I just want to keep.
I know. Me too.
So
It does seem
anyway.
like mom sororities sometimes are formed with like who's available to plan the things and do all the things, and then they're friends, and then you're not even friends. So not only are you not doing the things, you're like left out of the groups. That's how I am. But I think the main thing.
I want to be in.
Yeah.
I want to be in less groups. I want to be in less groups. I don't. The group
I
chats. The
know.
group texts. Oh my
I know.
gosh.
It's a lot.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot.
It makes me crazy. It makes me
It's
crazy.
a lot.
But it's all necessary, I guess. I don't know, but fuck, I just feel like May is insane. Right now it's just insane.
And I know.
I don't know. It's just,
it is. I'm going to tell you about something though, because this is a big part of kind of what's going on in my life. And honestly, it's really helped me to feel a little bit more grounded. I know we talk about early bird, right? And we're still enjoying that. That's something that helps you kind of clear your head at the end of the night. Early bird CBD, our partners with the CBD gummies. But something that I've just recently started is a new like health plan, a new diet plan. And I'd kind of been like looking for something for a while. I did the soda weight loss thing through the ticket. It's been like 3 years and it worked. But I didn't do a good job of like keeping that weight off. And one of the things that I do when I am tired and stressed, I learned about myself is like, and I'm not like a super gluttonous, like binge eater, but like sometimes if I'm feeling sad or something, it'll be like, oh, I just need some chips, and like I'll dip the chips in queso or butter or whatever. And then I'll feel better for a second. And then I feel worse again. Or I'll be like, oh, I just need like a whole bunch of booze to make me feel better. And then you feel hungover. And then anyway, I kind of been looking for something, but what I knew that I needed was structure. And I got this great opportunity through the Freak and, also the Mom Game to work with Texas Fat Loss. And I'm excited to tell y'all a little bit about them, and I'll be kind of sharing my journey with them. But one of the things, so I have lost, about 10 pounds since I started, and it's just been over a week, like 10 days or something. So that's kind of part of it. I think it's fast and furious, but what I've almost enjoyed more, and now that my body has adjusted to like eating less and doing the intermittent fasting, like I know that you do. And I used to kind of say to you like, man, how do you do that? I get so hungry at like 9 or 10. And now I've had, 7-8 days of doing it, and I don't even think about it anymore. So one of the things that I love about it is the structure that it's provided me when it comes to eating. I know what I'm going to eat. I know when I'm going to eat it. I know that if I do this right, there's a goal that I'm working towards, and I want to hit that goal, and I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to do it just in time for the summer. I kept thinking I could figure it out on my own, but then due to like all this craziness that we're talking about, I just like you go by the wayside, and your needs and your health and what you're feeding yourself, frankly, and making time for exercise and all of that. It's like, no, I can't. Those are the couple of things that I can just not worry about, because I have to worry about the kids. I have to worry about the job. I have to make sure that I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I wasn't taking care of myself. So that's one thing that I've really enjoyed about this program. And I'm excited to share it with everybody along the way. It is called Texas Fat Loss. Dr. Nick is the one who runs it there out of a clinic in Flower Mound, and he's great. I met him. He's got young kids, and he says that he and his wife both do this a couple of times a year just to kind of reset their bodies, and it's very doable. But if you guys want to get in on this, because I am just telling you that, like, for me, it was perfect right now. It's kind of perfect timing ahead of the summer. You can go check it out at texasfatloss.com, texasfatloss.com. If you want to pick up the phone and call somebody, the phone number is 972-845-1010. You can get to know Dr. Nick, and like, he'll text me because he sees the weigh-ins. He'll be like, "Whoa, you're killing it," or whatever. And like, just that kind of sense of accountability and like feeling like I have somebody in my corner that can help me has really done a lot for me. I know Kelly, like, his schedule's still crazy right now, but he wants to try and do it too. So it's been really good. I'm super excited that they are working with us here on the Mom Game, that they believe in us, that they believe in the power of us just kind of giving our testimonies to people that are interested. So we're so happy to have them now as new sponsors, texasfatloss.com. Go check them out. Tell them that the Mom Game sent you. And if you do end up doing this program, let me know how it's going, and we can kind of help each other out throughout the process. So that is, yes, me introducing a new partner, but it's also me kind of updating you on my life because it's been a big, giant part of my life. So it's something that, I'll be working on. I think it's like a 60-day program. And hopefully by then I'll have learned a lot and figured a lot out. And then I'll kind of slowly go back into a normal-ish routine, but they even help you through that part of the process too. So it's super exciting. And like I mentioned, it's a good timing because right now I just need a little bit of stability because of the Stars hockey season. I know we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Stars and the Rangers.
Yeah, I did want to hit one more thing though. I saw you post about, because you know how I feel about early bird. I can't survive without it. In fact, I wish it wasn't so effective at chilling me out so much, because I might be able to take some, like right now when I need to chill the fuck out. But anyway, I was wondering, I saw you post that you were going to pop a couple early birds one night. I think maybe it was over the weekend because you're not drinking as much, right? Yeah. So that's a good little compliment to what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, for sure. I've gone down to like a half an early bird just to start, because I do wake up so early now, so it makes me a little nervous because I don't want to be like one time I had a whole one and I woke up and I was like, ooh, but I woke up at like 5. But I love it. I love knowing that it's doing something and that there is something there, but not too much, but just kind of the perfect amount. But yeah, it'll get you to that place that you want to go if you don't want to drink. And I can drink with Texas Fat Loss if I need to, or if I want to, like in a social outing, but it's just kind of like specific. There's no wine. It's more just liquor in a sugar-free mixer, that kind of thing, which is very doable because you can have ranch water still. But yeah, early bird is a great just option for just kind of relaxing and vegging out.
I know. I wish I could take some right now. It would help a lot. Okay, let's get to some sports. Speaking of wine, brought to us by our friends at Noble Vines and, of course, our friends at Bottle Rover. Noble Vines, of course, our wine of choice here on the Mom Game. As you know, Noble Vines aims to bring out the best in wine and people. We know about their wines. We know about their legacy. Each bottle represents each bottle number, I should say, represents a superior vine stock that over centuries have proven to produce exceptional wine. So they've got the 337 Cabernet Sauvignon, rich, full-bodied style, aromas of cherry and blackberry, and suave tannins invite you to share something meaningful and pour good into the world. They do great things in the community. They're a huge supporter of the Do It for Dirt Foundation, which we are so grateful for. Year in and year out, they support the Do It for Dirt Foundation, which of course is something that's so very near and dear to my heart. So we're grateful to them for that. They will be a part of the Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial. Super excited to see them out there. They're going to be there May 25th through May 28th, serving all of their good stuff. So you can find them on the course. Also, big supporter, I mentioned the charitable contribution, No Kid Hungry, which is working to end child hunger in America by ensuring that all children get the healthy food they need every day to thrive. So if you want to check out that awesome cause, visit nokidhungry.org. So check out Noble Vines. You can find them at most of your local liquor stores. I drink it a lot at Colonial when we go up there for a drink or two, and have some on my shelves here at the Hizzy House as well. So must be 21 or over, noblevines.com. Please drink responsibly. And Julie, if we need some Noble Vines and we don't feel like getting out in the
Yep.
rain or we're busy,
If you need,
we got a friend that can help with that.
If you need your Noble Vines, if you need your tequila for your ranch water, maybe you just need some mixers. You can even get snacks. But the main thing is to remember to use our friends over at Bottle Rover with a $50 minimum order, which we all know is easy to do when you're buying booze. You can get your drinks delivered to your front door for free. You can save money this way. You are still supporting local businesses that are around you. You can browse live inventory. You can compare pricing, find the perfect bottle of whatever it is that you're looking for, and get it knocked out without even leaving the house. Our friends at Bottle Rover are awesome. They've been so fun to work with. Download their app if you don't have it yet. And next time you're thinking about even planning a party, anything like that, they do have a feature on their app now where you can they'll help you plan your party and pick out exactly what you need if you're hosting, which I know, Emily, you do a lot of. So you can sit there with the calendar and you can say, okay, I'm hosting this. I'm going to go buy these things, click enter, tell it what date you want it to be delivered, and it will show up to your door. Cross one more thing off your list. We love telling you about things that can help make your life easier. And we love telling you about ways to get booze. And we love telling you about the booze, and we love telling you about the CBD.
And you know what? Yes, give us all the things. I actually use the Bottle Rover app because we're hosting, sadly, a funeral reception at our house for one of my friend's dads who passed away. And like I said, every hour of my life, waking hour, I feel like is planned. So I just don't have time to do that. So, last night I'm having, before bed, I was like, do this, and this. And I scheduled the delivery for tomorrow because I knew someone would be here tomorrow, to accept the delivery. So anyway, yes, huge game changer. It's just like anything else, all the other delivery apps. This is just one that specializes in alcohol and all the things that go along with entertaining. So super grateful for Bottle Rover for the service that they provide and for their support of the mom game for sure. Okay, let's talk some sports. Yay. Sports. You alluded to a little bit earlier. I think the Stars are the big thing here. Series tied 2-2. Is Kelly not back yet? Isn't it? Aren't they coming home?
They are coming home. He's in the air. So since they're playing in Seattle, they are coming the next day after the game. Usually they'll fly straight home, but they're not. And then it's also the time change factored in. So it takes them for freaking ever to get home. So it's a whole nother day. The kids were all excited he was coming home. And then we realized he still wasn't even going to be able to pick him up from school. So that's on me here in about 20 minutes. But it's just part of the deal, I guess, with playing Seattle. But yeah, it is a really fun series once again. And they won last night. They won game 4. Just when you think that maybe they're losing it and thinking about the golf course or whatever, they get killed 7-2 in game 3 by Seattle. They come right back. They come firing out of the gates for game 4. They tied the series up. It's looking a lot like the Minnesota series, almost exactly like the Minnesota series. The really good news in game 4 was that Miro Heiskanen came back. He's the Stars' best player. He's the Stars' best player. He is,
So it looks like someone took a pickaxe or something to his face. How he's playing again and how that didn't do any structural damage or affect anything else. I mean, I know it's gnarly looking, but I feel like it's crazy to think that it didn't, which is crazy. It looks terrible, but I can't believe it didn't do more damage.
No, it's surprising it didn't break any sort of bone in his face, because he was standing right in front of the net and took a puck, a slap shot to the face. That's a lot. So I forget who I was even watching that game with. I guess my parents, and I was just kind of well, the good thing is that his body's okay. He can still play as long as, it's not too bad. I was glad it wasn't his eye, but it's if it's his knee or, anything else, he's done. And so he I think could have even gotten back in that game 3, but they were getting killed at that point, so they weren't going to throw him in there. And then he started game 4 and played 30 freaking minutes. Like, he plays the most ice time of anybody on the roster for the Stars every single game. And he's so good. He's a calming presence for them. We need him. Joe Pavelski scored again in this last game. Max Domi's been really good. He was a trade acquisition at the deadline. So once again, Jim Nill kind of pulling all the right strings at the trade deadline. Jake Ottinger had a really good bounce back game in the playoffs. In his short playoff career, I think he's like 4-0 after a loss. And then overall, he's like 22-1-0. After a loss. So he's really good at bouncing back. There have been certain instances in this series where he's just like bombarded with goals and it's scary. And it's like, he's never going to get it back. But he is. It just unfortunately is like maybe 3 goals are scored in a very short amount of time. When you feel like he has lost his footing or he's a little off or he's rattled or whatever. But he's playing great. And I love that he is coming back home now to home ice. And we do have game 5 Thursday night of this week. It is another really late one. I actually think I'm not going to go again. It takes the life out of me for the whole next day and the morning show and the game. It's a bad juxtaposition of things. But Saturday is game 6, and that one is going to be an earlier start at 6:00. So it's looking pretty good for us. And if it follows along the same guidelines as it did in the first series, which so far it is, could be Stars in 6. But we'll see. We need 2 more wins. But I think people were kind of scared by the Kraken at first because we didn't know what to expect. And when we did see them, we were like, holy hell, like these guys are fast and they check hard and they're physical, but not, that's not their whole thing, but they're just pretty relentless. They've got 4 lines that all are contributing offensively, and they're all really good players. It's the whole expansion draft thing. We can get into another time. It's just interesting, the expansion draft and how these expansion teams are pretty good right out of the gates, because the Vegas Golden Knights are the other one in recent history that's been good. But I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about it, Em. And, the longer the Stars play, the more time that I feel like I'm running around with my head cut off, chicken with my head cut off. Just like you are, but I do at least know that
Yep.
like when it's all said and done, there's an end to this madness, and he's going to be around all summer, and I can finally share the parenting load and some of this stuff, but it's so worth it. He's been with this team for so long, and if they can get on a really good run and play into June, man, it'd just be really exciting. And I think the whole city of Dallas obviously is ready for that to happen too. So go Stars.
Yeah, super exciting. They're fun to watch. Last night it was good because they got up really early, and I was like, here I go. I can pop my early birds and get in that biscuit.
There you go.
I went to bed at a decent time, and then I did wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I was like, I need to double check. I need to make sure. I know they won, but I'm double check the Stars, and then I double check the Rangers because they were trailing when I went to bed, and then I was like, oh, that didn't end well. No. But overall, the Rangers are playing really, really well. The offense is ridiculous. Their pitching has been good. I mean, the bullpen has had its hiccups, but overall they're playing really, really good team baseball. The only really concerning news, 2 bits. Travis Jankowski's on the IL with his hamstring. But I feel like they're still deep enough to where they can kind of cover up, even with Mitch Garver out, Corey Seager out now, Jankowski out. And I feel like Garver and I think all of those guys will be back in the mix sooner rather than later. Probably Jankowski will be out the longest just because hamstrings are kind of dicey.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be on there longer than the 10. The really concerning thing is that the Jacob DeGrom news so far is not good as far as the timeline. He went on the 15-day IL, could have come back on Sunday, this coming Sunday, but they're like, it's going to be another 2 to 3 weeks before we can even think about getting him back out there. So that's obviously a little concerning, but, we'll see. You've got to be deep. Everyone in baseball has injuries, to their starting rotation, to their offense. So you just kind of have to suck it up and live with it. And no one's making any excuses for anybody. And, no one's feeling sorry for anyone. So you basically just have to figure it out. But, at this point in time, 7 games above 500, leading the division, you'll take it, about a third of the way through May. I mean, 40-ish games in. So yeah, it's an exciting time for the Rangers, and obviously an exciting time for the Stars. So go Stars.
Yay.
If you are going to wreak havoc on Julie Dobbs' life, you better win the Stanley Cup. That's all I'm saying. Just kidding.
I like it.
Just
I
kidding.
like it, Em. I'm on board with that. I'm on board.
Okay. I know you are. Okay. A couple more things to get to before we go, because we've got to pick up kids from school. Thank God I didn't have to go pick them up when we started the show, because I might have yelled at them. Because
I'm happy to be your buffer between you and picking up your kids. Let's get into a better headspace.
What I really needed was like 2 minutes to just just calm myself, but we didn't have 2 minutes. So we just went for it. And so that, ladies and gentlemen, that's me. That's what happens. Sometimes I lose my shit, and then I pour myself a glass of wine and
that's
keep
okay.
going.
Who can relate?
But
raise
I
your
want to
hand
talk
if you can
about,
relate.
Yeah, raise your hand if you can relate. Okay, so we do have to talk about something that I don't want to talk about. We'll get to that in a second, but want to remind everyone about our friends at Globe Life. As we all know, the job market right now is a very different landscape than it used to be, whether you're attempting to balance your work and home life.
Hello.
Or find a career that aligns with your goals and needs. It is a lot to juggle. Trust us. If you're looking for a career path that offers a flexible schedule, the ability to make a difference, and the independence to build your own business, take a look at Globe Life. Anyone watching the Texas Rangers has heard that name, Globe Life, but people may not know how much opportunity is there and how many successful women thrive in their careers with Globe Life. If you've never considered the insurance industry, you should know that a growing number of women are finding success within it. Globe Life has been around for generations and prides itself on its commitment to make tomorrow better. With virtual and in-person business models, you can find success wherever you are. So if you want to be paid what you're worth, keep a flexible schedule, and find meaning in your career while being engaged in what matters most at home, reach out to Globe Life today at globelifeagents.com. It could change your trajectory in a way you never thought possible. That's globelifeagents.com to discover what a career at Globe Life can do for you.
Yay,
so
Globe
thank you
Life.
to Globe Life. We love having them back on board. If you're looking for some structure in a different kind of way, if you're looking for, a career that can give you, like I said, some flexibility and some options, definitely look into Globe Life. So all over the news this week has been the Allen shooting, and it's just, I don't know. Speaking of just being exhausted, I put it on our rundown, and then I'm like, what are we going to say? It's the most helpless, ridiculous feeling. You feel what can you do? What do you do? What can you do? And it's just you feel so terrible for those families that were there, for the victims, for people who were there, who witnessed it, for people who were injured. I don't know. It's just it's so heartbreaking. It's so awful.
Yeah.
And it just makes you think, and then it makes you feel stupid for getting frustrated with technology 30 minutes ago. But it's what are we doing?
I know.
What the fuck are we doing? Why it just keeps happening over and over and
to me,
over
it feels
again. And it's just so heartbreaking.
It feels like it. Every day when I see it on the news, I feel like, is that real? Is this really our life? Is this really what is on the news? Is this really what we're worrying about when we send our kids to school or go out into the public anywhere? It's
yeah, and it's right. And I know. And what do you? And so me. I hate politics. I hate the news. I kind of this is terrible, probably. I kind of just bury my head in sports and shit. I just am la 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 la. I don't want to hear about bad stuff. I don't want to hear about politics. I don't, it's so you just try to block it all out. But then you're I don't know. It's fuck, I don't want to block it out. But if I don't block it out, what am I going to do? I can't do shit. And then you just at this whole vicious cycle where you just feel trapped. And I I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way.
Yeah.
But it's just like at this point, you're like, you don't want to seem callous, but you're like, well, I mean, there's another one. What are we going to do now? Nothing's going to change. And then the news cycle will turn over. And, I wish as someone who wants to help and who likes to be proactive and, I don't know, I'm very much actions over words, all that kind of stuff. But it's like, I don't know if anyone knows what to do. It's like, it's just this gross, helpless feeling.
Yeah. It's terrible. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. And we were talking on the radio, we've talked about it quite a bit this week, but just how many people were affected by it, that like, obviously the people and the families and the victims, it's just, I can't even comprehend, because it included multiple kids, a mom and a dad and a little one, and the 6-year-old almost, or maybe 7-year-old boy is now left without a family. They just went to go return shoes. Like, when you hear those kind of things, it's like, I mean, it's just gutting, obviously. But then you even think about like the people that were there and the people that saw it, and all of the young people that saw it, and the families and the whoever it was, like, that's going to scar you for life. And I even saw like a Facebook post in my mom Facebook group here from my neighborhood, and we don't live near Allen, really. I'm guessing it's probably like a 30-minute drive. But one of the moms had a friend who was there that lives in Allen, that was about 20 feet from where this happened. And she said in this post, she was like looking for suggestions, trying to help take the mental load away from them, to find grief counselors for her kids, because she said her kids can't hear any sort of loud noise right now without like crying or panicking, and then the mom is too, and then the dad's trying to help everybody. It's just like, and I struggle with that. I'm like, I didn't have to think about this kind of thing when I was 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 or 10 or 20 or whatever. Like, I don't want my kids to think about that when they're going to school or to the mall. And so my personal choice is to not tell them. But, your kids, obviously, like, they hear about it and they're going to talk about it and they know about it. But it's just sad that this is the world that we're living in. And I don't know you can't move away, because it's kind of happening everywhere. So, it just goes back to the two things. It's like the mental health crisis and the gun crisis. And then the combination of both of them is what we're getting.
And then the fact that you can't say it's both. I mean, I agree with you, but like, people are so dug in, with their donkeys or their elephants, that they're not gonna acknowledge that. They're just gonna deflect to the other one. And it's just like, it just goes back to that. It's so gross. It's like, if you honestly can look me in the eye and be like, no, we don't need to change anything about the gun laws. What are you talking about? Like, you're fucking delusional. You are delusional if that's the way you think, honestly. Like, and if you also think that mental health in this country is totally kick ass, also delusional. But it's like, you can't even say it's both, because you get people yelling at you. Because then if you say it's both, and that means if you're on this side, you lost. And if you're on this side, you lost. Well, fuck, I lose. Okay. I lose all day long. Like, come on.
I do feel like
how many times have we had this conversation? It's like, fuck, what do you do? Like,
I do feel like,
I don't know.
It's like a group, obviously it's like the politicians that are the ones that are like not budging, but I feel like it's a growing group of just citizens that are maybe realizing that these things are both a problem. And the more that realize, and the more that push, and the more that, try to make their voice heard, and the more that go talk to the representatives in their specific district or their senator or whatever it is. It's like the more,
we need more reasonable humans running for public office. That's because it doesn't matter. You can go talk to them all you want. The bottom line is they've got people writing them checks. They've got people who are backing their campaigns, all that bullshit. So talking to them, sending letters, all that crap, not crap, all those things, maybe in large numbers can help. But in my opinion, it's like, why aren't these reasonable humans that I hear talking and that I have conversations with? I want you. That's who I want. That's who I want leading me, leading our government, all that kind of stuff. But I just feel like we've gotten so far away from that. It's really, really sad. Like, look at our presidential candidates. Like, sorry, and I'm going to offend both sides. These are dump candidates. These suck. Like, this is the best we can do.
Yeah.
Like, this is, ugh, it's just gross. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, why they're normal, I don't know, normal humans. Because who would want to get into politics? Because everybody, it sucks. I don't know.
I saw that like one of the gun laws was assault rifles. Or at least the bill was passed. It has to be voted on and approved, but to go from 18 to 21 when it comes to the age of purchasing them. And that was like a bunch of the parents from Uvalde that were really like trying to lobby for this bill to be passed. And they were like celebrating in the courtroom and like, there's little things like that you can do. And then hopefully like these little things will all add up. But yeah, the people on top are just like, they're probably just dickheads that are doing, whatever they want for money. And it's all money. Right. And it's ridiculous.
And what it's going to take for me to get reelected and all that.
Like no
bullshit.
one cares.
Well, yeah. And that is a positive. That is a positive. Like, and those families, taking their tragedy and trying to do something good with it is extremely admirable. And I didn't mean that like, we can't do anything. Those things are impactful, but it would be so much more impactful if we could actually get decent humans running our
and it's frustrating because scene, you even have the president now that's like calling for help and action, but it won't get approved underneath him, right? And the House or the Senate or whatever it is, like they just always just run into each other and fart and fall down and don't get shit done. It's ridiculous. So I don't know.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse, Julie. We could be in politics. Right. It could always be worse. We could be in politics.
But I have like 1 minute left on this topic, but I said it on the radio. It's like, I think all we can do and what I think you and I do, and I think what a lot of our listeners do and what a lot of moms do, it's like, because a lot of it is the mental health side of things and these like lonely, sad people that don't know where to turn. So they either turn to like a bad, like groups on the internet, like this guy apparently was, or something else. But it's like, let's just try to affect and help and do what we can with the group around us, like the circle around us of people, right? I think it was a quote my mom said, and I don't remember it exactly, but it was like, you can affect your circle of influence. You have an influence on your circle, even if the circle of concern is much greater. So like we're concerned about the world and we're concerned about Texas, but what we can do is focus on like our circle of influence and like how can we help and our children and our children's friends and like let's just try to make this do what we can because that's all we can do and it's better than doing nothing. But yeah, it's very disheartening. Like so many prayers, and I do pray. So I'm not just saying that.
Yeah. And I also, too, that's annoying when people are like, oh, thoughts and prayers. What are your thoughts and prayers doing now? And it's like, well, actually,
more than you're bitching about my thoughts and prayers are.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, that's how I do believe in, I pray in prayer and I want to keep those people in my prayer. So I hate people that poo-poo that because I think it's weird. It's a weird flex.
Me too.
Like, oh, good one. Thoughts and prayers. What good are you doing? It's like,
better than complaining on the internet.
And it just goes to show that, like, I know, but then it just goes to show how everything's divisive. Yep. I'm sending positive vibes. Is that okay? As long as I don't say prayer or just nothing positive, I should just shut the fuck up. Maybe that's it.
No,
I don't know.
You do you, Em. Don't worry about the people. I got to run.
Okay, you do. Okay, shoot. Okay, we'll save the rest for
let's save it.
My Starbucks customers rant. Okay.
If you want to rant like by yourself and then close the show out, you
by
can.
myself and then close. No, I'm good. But here's a little tease. I feel like Starbucks customers might be some of the most entitled people in the world. I'll explain next week on episode 166 of the Mom Game. Boom, that's a tease. Thank everyone for following along on this crazy ride where you got to see my split personalities of me losing my shit and now me a little bit calmed down, still losing my shit inside, but at least able to hide it. So, Julie, I love you.
Back.
Thanks for
give your
talking to me. For
sweet
the last
kiddos a hug.
45 minutes.
I know.
So I don't yell at my kids when they
There
get in
you
the
go.
car. Okay, y'all send me tweets and stuff or DMs if you've had a similar experience to make me
Like
feel better about myself.
and what that experience is like as close to a meltdown as you can possibly get without actually.
Oh no, that was a meltdown. That was a meltdown.
Like
It was a passive aggressive meltdown.
It was a passive aggressive meltdown.
Oh, it was
You got to witness it
because I came in
live.
Yeah, I came in so hot with the extra cheery Gateway read, and then I got into it, and I was like, I'm fucking losing my mind.
Your Gateway read scared me.
What's happening?
Your Gateway read scared me.
I was waiting for a reaction from you, like, oh dear. Oh,
I was kind of just petrified. I was numb. I couldn't talk.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We got to go get our kids from school. Okay. Love everyone. Love you, Julie.
Do you love everyone? All right. Mom came in.
No, I don't. I don't fucking love anyone, but I'm just saying that to show that I'm not having a meltdown.
No, she's doing it again. Let's cut this thing off. Mom game out.
Mom game out.